Political reflections, Scavino45, who's the president's social media wizard, said the president was treated like a rock star inside the hospital, which was all caught on video. They all loved seeing their great president. And I'll leave that for you to decipher. Twitter Trump always overcomes teleprompter Trump, says the wise old woman, and I think that's an important point. Ambassador Rice, Susan Rice, wrote in the New York Times, "Our domestic fault lines remain our greatest national security vulnerability, and race is our oldest and deepest rift." When the president deliberately and repeatedly rubs salt in those wounds while coddling the authoritarian opponents who exploit them, we must reluctantly ask ourselves, is he playing on America's team? I touched on this on the 22nd of July in an article I wrote called The Showdown, which was specific to the four horsemen of the apocalypse, as Trump has called them. Humiliating Kashmir is part of Narendra Modi's plan to remake India. This is The Guardian. Either way, Modi, a consummate method actor, was playing the conservationist. He added this role to an extensive repertoire: poet, sage, statesman, he-man, yogi, that he has deftly deployed to craft a cult of personality unrivaled in the democratic world, not least for a man who was once widely castigated as a Hindu supremacist. Amit Shah, Modi's dreaded enforcer and the minister responsible for law and order, clarified in Parliament that urban Naxals, a label that encompasses everyone from left-wing intellectuals to ruthless cosmopolitans, skeptical of the Modi regime, will not be spared. Kashmir is now under the thumb of the union government. The region's elected leaders have been thrown in jail. Communications, including landlines, have been cut off. Ordinary Kashmiris have no means of speaking to the rest of India. The most monumental redesign of Delhi's constitutional arrangement, with India's sole Muslim majority state hatched in secrecy, occurred without a debate in Parliament. Modi's willingness to take the risk was in no doubt dictated by the reward. He has in one stroke ground down and humiliated Kashmiris and held them up as an example to other Indian states. The termination of Kashmir's special status is simultaneously a culmination of long-standing Hindu nationalist yearning to domesticate the region's dissenting Muslim majority and a successful test case for the project to remake the entirety of India in accordance with Modi's ideology. One country, one system, Modi's acolytes cry with sadistic glee at Kashmiris who are curfewed and cut off from the world. Next week, India will mark 72 years of independence from British rule. For many Indians, forced suddenly to pledge allegiance to a de facto one-party state under one supreme leader will be the beginning of an inquisition, not an occasion for celebration. I concluded by citing Gaza, Kashmir, and Xinjiang. International markets, Chinese trade sources tell us that China expects 10% tariffs on an additional $300 billion, which will be added on September the 1st. These sources also say China expects that 10% to go to 25% because China will stand firm and not buy US agriculture. And I said China is now playing the game in US trading hours. That came out during trading hours. And I was referencing May 2019 when I was saying Trump is highly tuned to the markets and is in fact something of a 21st century artiste. His positive trade war tweets are timed around the US market hours and designed to soothe, massage, and finesse US asset prices, and he turns more negative in Chinese trading hours, and he's getting a bit of his own treatment back. My last article was What's Your Road, Man? Holy Boy Road, Madman Road, Rainbow Road, Guppy Road, any road. It's an anywhere road for anybody, anyhow, where, body, how. And I said, Boris, I was quoting the Telegraph's Daniel Hannan, isn't bluffing. Every action, every appointment, every word since he entered number 10 signals the same thing. Britain is leaving the EU on the 31st of October. And yesterday he repeated this: we're going to fulfill the repeated promises of Parliament to the people. And essentially my conclusion was that sterling will continue to drop.